where does the blame go for this, Ryan? Like, where do you spread the blame between Steve Nash, Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, James Harden, because he was a part of this team, Ben Simmons? Like, how do you spread the blame for Brooklyn and the year that they had or didn't have?
So I love a lot of the Nets. I like Kevin Durant a lot. I like Kyrie Irving a whole lot.
I know you do.
Like how do you not blame Kyrie Irving, especially given that Kyrie's comments in the presser where he's like, "Yo, we just didn't have time to gel." Like, yeah, bro, because of you. Like that's why, because you didn't want to do this thing and whatever. It's your decision. But when you made that decision, you knew it was going to affect your playing time on the court. And you've been in the NBA long enough to know that should affect how your team's going to perform in the playoffs. So for Kyrie Irving to come out and say that and sort of admit blame, sort of not, but it really is like, yeah, it's on me, is at least how I took it. That's where the blame has to go. You know, I know a lot of people are crushing Steve Nash, and he might not be a very good coach. They're saying he didn't make a ton of adjustments. It seemed like he tried to make a lot of adjustments. It just didn't seem like any of them worked. So he still might not be a great coach. It sounds like they're at least going to run it back for one more year. And I do think the blame has to go to Kyrie, though. It was, his fault. He wasn't on the court for all of that time. He played only like 20 games or something in the regular season, if that, and then coming back in the playoffs and thinking you're just going to gel, putting your team in a position to where you don't get to play, maybe a lesser team in the first round, right? You're not getting the Hawks are, down 3-1 right now, but, you're not even getting maybe a less talented team like Toronto, although they're storming back in their series. Like, you got maybe the best team in the East in the first round because you weren't there, and then thinking you could come back and you were just going to, kind of take them over is obviously a mistake, and I think that blame has to go to Kyrie Irving. I don't even really think it's close into like who should shoulder most of the blame.
I absolutely agree that the majority of the blame goes to Kyrie Irving. Exactly everything you just said, where he put his team in that situation. Look, he made a personal choice for his health, whatever it may be. Maybe he doesn't believe in the science, whatever it may be. That's fine. I get it. But you have put your team in one heck of a predicament by making this decision. But it's for your long-term health. So, we have seen how NFL players who put their bodies on the line for a long time, how they have been completely forgotten afterwards, and the NFL didn't do anything for them. So this man is trying to make a long-term health decision. Fine. But it caused James Harden to start looking wide-eyed around and trying to get out of there because James Harden is a coward, and he did. It caused Kevin Durant to have to shoulder the load, which he's in some ways capable of doing, obviously. You're talking about one of the greatest small forwards of all time. But you've put such a predicament throughout everyone else, and then this whole situation with Steve Nash, where you remember the comments when Steve Nash was named head coach. He wasn't really going to be their head coach. It was going to be a committee of Kyrie and KD and Nash. They were going to get their heads together, and they were going to come up with these plans.
And Kyrie doubled down on it.
So he's not really their head coach. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he doubled down, like even after in the same presser. He was like, oh, we're me, Kevin, and Joe, and whoever else, we're going to get in there and manage. And I was like, what? What are you talking about?
Right. Taking bad LeBron GM to a whole new level.